Hi crafters, Karen here, and welcome back to another Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar series. Today is day number 22. The flap is here on the right hand side and it is a rectangle. I'll pull back the flap and we'll see what we're playing with today. There's no image, so that tells me that we will have some kind of embellishment, and we'll be working with sequins or shakers. Now these shakers are pink, and like the other two packs that we received earlier in the calendar, they are full circles with no holes in the center. So let's see what I create today. When I saw the pink sequins, I thought of Valentine's. So I went into my Valentine's Day stash and I pulled out this really pretty pattern paper. And it is double-sided. And I also pulled out my holiday hoopla from Close to My Heart, and I'll be using the Happy Valentine's Day stamp and that heart there up on the top left. I also brought in my Infinity Heart dies from Hero Arts, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different with my shaker today. I will be making a frame, and that's what I'll be doing with those two hearts there. And I'll be cutting several of those so that I can layer them up. The small heart in my left hand, I will be putting my sentiments and my stamp on, and then that second heart that was in my right hand, I'm going to layer the smaller one on top of that. I'm going to use my Lilac Bloom from VersaFine Claire ink, and let's see the process and what I do. So off screen, I did cut off the acetate, and like I mentioned, I'm going to be doing layers and with these frames. Now that solid heart that you see there, I did go with a little bit of a darker color because I wanted that contrast. I'm going to use my glue today instead of using the double-sided foam tape. I want to see if this is going to make any difference with making it actually shake. I know I've had issues in the past with when I just use my double-sided foam tape, sometimes the shaker bits stick to the foam. So I thought that I would try the glue and we'll see if that makes any difference. So you see that I'm layering a couple of the pieces down, and then I'm going to put my acetate kind of like in the center, and then I'm going to layer the other two pieces on top of that. Now, once I have all that finished, then I'm going to turn that over and get the, you can see my anti-static powder there on the right hand side from Tailored Expressions, and I will go ahead and place that on the acetate because I don't want the shaker bits to stick. I want them to shake, and that does help prevent the sequins from sticking. So I'm going to pour some in here, and I feel like I put a little bit too much in, and you can see I'm taking some of them out, but I still feel like there's still too many in there. And you'll see later on in the video if this will affect the shaker or not. So I just flip it over to make sure that everything is there and it looks good. And so I now bring the glue in and I add that, and then I will add that solid heart as my backup. So I get that all glued into place, I press it down, and it does shake, but I think, again, I put in too many, and you can see some of them kind of sticking. And I don't know that it's necessarily the glue, but I'm not really sure, but I feel like I just put in too many. So moving on, off screen, I did bring in those small hearts to layer the stamps on, and I kind of did that off screen, setting it up because I didn't want my head to get in the way of the camera. I wanted to make sure that everything was centered. So I go ahead and I inked that with my Lilac Bloom, and I just like that tone-on-tone look. It's just super pretty. Now here I'm going to put everything together, and on those small hearts I did add some double-sided foam tape. I wanted a little bit of a pop on those two hearts, and now I'm going to take the shaker and I'm going to add that to the top front, and then bring in the two smaller hearts there on the bottom. And again, just adding some glue and getting those glued down and put into place. And that's pretty much the shaker. And again, it does shake. You can see them moving a little bit, but I think if I maybe used less, I think I would have had a better result. Now I'm going to put the box top together. And as I mentioned before, I do like to use score tape when I'm doing these kinds of projects. It really does keep the flaps intact, and it helps keep the box together and makes it durable. So I finish up getting these flaps folded over and pressed in, and now I'll bring in the bottom part of my box. Now this cardstock is from the Recollections Shimmer paper pad, and I thought it just went so nice with the lighter pink on top. This wraps up another video, and I hope that it is inspiring you to give some boxes a try. And until my next video, which is tomorrow, day 23, we'll see you then. Take care. Have a crafty day.